In this video, we are looking at how you can enhance your personal finance tracking system within Coda. You can find a link in the description for this system that I created some months ago. And today we are looking at, in particular, how you can track an overview of your accounts and the account balances that you have over time based on the transactions that occur within those accounts. And also how you can track recurring subscriptions in the system, automating the log as a transaction into the Coda Finance Tracker, so that you don't need to worry about keeping track of that, and you can have an overview of each subscription that you have, when it occurs next, and the amount paid will be tracked automatically within the Coda system. Here is the Coda doc, and you can watch a full walkthrough of this doc in the description of the video, where there is a link to the original explanation of the whole template. And here I'm in the database page, where I'm looking at two new tables that I created, and this is to manage accounts, to see account balances as well, and recurring subscriptions. So when I open accounts, I will see all the bank accounts that I want to track right here, with the type of account, which can be checking, savings, or investment, the monthly cost, if there is one associated with it. Any notes, I can write them here. And there is the balance that is automatically calculated based on the total income minus total expenses. And at the beginning of your onboarding in this Coda doc, there is also the ability, when you add your accounts, to include a starting balance. So that's why you can add it, and this will adjust the balance accordingly, because normally you will already have a balance in your bank accounts when you start using this system, and you do not want to add all your transactions from the past in it. So you can just manually adjust the balance by entering the starting balance right here, and that will automatically adjust the balance of that account, which still takes into account income minus expenses, which is automatically pulled from the transactions table, but it also adds the starting balance to the difference between those two. So let's go back to the accounts table, and you can see here there is also a relation to the recurring subscriptions table, which we're gonna see in a minute. And if I open any bank account, I can see the monthly cost, the balance, here a section for the notes, and I can also see all the transactions associated with it. And that's very important, because these transactions are going to impact the total income and the total expenses for that account, which will then impact the balance within that account. And I'm going to then talk about how investments are managed. But for now, at the basic level, there is income and there is expenses. You can think of income as inflow of money, so cash that you get into your bank account, and expenses is outflow of money, so cash that you expend or that you invest. So in this system, in the current iteration of this system, investments are considered essentially expenses, because the cash is not available to you, but it's rather out. It goes out of your pockets and into the investment account for a future benefit that you envision. And that is why they are categorized as expenses. So if I were to add an investment transaction from the main dashboard, I'm going to add the transaction, add the amount, select the category here, which it be investment, and you can see investment is considered an expense, and then we can write the description, which is not needed in this case. Then I can select the account associated with this transaction, let's say this one for example, and that will then impact the balance within that account. And if it's an investment account, the balance will actually be higher. But if you look at the finances breakdown section, your outflow for the year will also include investments, because investments are an outflow of cash. Whereas if you withdraw your investment and you get them back to your bank account ready to be spent, then that will be considered an inflow or income within the system, and that will impact the inflow number. So there is the outflow, that is money coming out of your pocket, and a subset of that outflow within transactions is composed of investments, which is just a category of transaction within the system. So you can see out of 1,037 money out within transactions, $1,000 is investment. And then here you can see total accounts balance. That is the sum of the balances of all the accounts that we saw earlier in the accounts table. And total profits this year is just inflow minus outflow. So this is cash-based profit. And the second key feature that is new in the system is tracking recurring subscriptions. This is a way for you, as soon as you start using this doc, to go into the onboarding flow, and there is a section for recurring subscriptions, you can come here, add your recurring subscriptions just like this by hitting new row or selecting new at the top right corner of the table. Then you can categorize each transaction or subscription. Importantly, you want to include the price, that is the price per frequency of payment. So if it's a monthly subscription, then this is the monthly price. If it's a yearly subscription, that's the yearly price. If it's a quarterly subscription, which is also another option in the drop-down menu, then the price will be the quarterly price. And that's because we will use the price to automatically add the transaction related to the subscription every time the next payment date arrives. So once you add the price, you can select the payment frequency right here, and this will calculate automatically the yearly price, which is then used to get an overview within recurring subscriptions of the total yearly cost right here. Then you can select the account that you use to pay this recurring subscription. There is a category. So what category do you want to assign to the subscription? Right here, for example, Netflix could be personal. And there is the next payment date, which you want to insert the first time that you set up the system. After that, the next payment date will be automatically updated by the automation. So in here, you can select your date. And if that date is today, the automation will create a transaction. So if you look at the automations in the doc, there are two automations that were already here and that you can explore in the original video explaining this doc. And then there is a new one that is called create recurring transactions. And here, when you hover over the informational icon, you can see that this automation triggers on a daily basis. I'm going to show you when exactly. And if the date of the payment of the next payment is today, it creates a new transaction and it also updates the next payment date, adding the amount of days to this previous date. So if I open this automation, you can see that this triggers every day at 9 a.m. GMT +1. That is just because it's the default time zone that I use in my doc. When you copy this doc to your Coda workspace, you will see your time zone. If not, feel free to change it right here. And there is an if rule. That is, if we scan through the recurring subscriptions database, and if the next payment date, that is a list, so an array of values, contains today, then we continue. And we push the buttons for all those transactions that need to happen today. So there are two buttons here. One is to create the actual transaction in the transactions table, and the other one is to update the next recurrence, that is the next payment date. And that happens by adding the frequency in days to the previous payment date. So practically speaking, you can see that Netflix, for example, is recurring today. That is March 8th every month. So this automation would run automatically at 9 a.m. And if we test it out, this is what it looks like. It would add a new row. You will not see this. You will not need to take any action. This happens all automatically within the system. And then when you go to the dashboard, you can find the transaction right here. For the 8th of March, there is 12 euros or dollars if you would change the currency in the system. The category is personal. That's because it was taken from the recurring subscription category. The type is expense, the month is automatic, and the account as well is Bank of America. And that's because that's the account associated with the Netflix recurring transaction, as you can see from here. And finally, you can see that this recurring transaction has the next payment date on the 7th of April. That is 30 days from the previous transaction date. So when this date comes, the automation will create again a transaction within the system.